ANTILIA, the $2 billion home. How much do you think an average house costs? $50,000? $100,000? Or do you think it's a bit higher than that? Okay, so how about $500,000? Or $1 million? Yeah, it seems like we're headed towards celebrity status. Well, across all the world, there are apartments and houses that cost below and above $1 million. Some of these places come with price tags that you wouldn't believe. In fact, in Monaco, which is the most expensive real estate city in the world, the typical rate is about $5,000 per square meter for a home. The average person can't even afford to think about renting an apartment in Monaco, literally. But with its sky-high prices, Monaco still isn't home to the most expensive house in the world. Yes, that's right, there are places more expensive to live than a penthouse in Monaco. Coming in behind Buckingham Palace on the list of most expensive residential properties in the world, we have the ANTILIA, which is also known as the $2 billion home. In today's episode of Luxury Living, we're going to take a look at what it really means to live in luxury while waking up in a house that costs more than a fleet of private jets. And guess what? The owners have private jets. From a staff count that will make your jaw drop to a snow room that can compete with the North Pole, here's everything you need to know about ANTILIA, the $2 billion home. Construction. Named after the mythical Atlantic island, ANTILIA impressively sits on 400,000 square feet, Alamount Road, South Mumbai, and is one of the tallest single-family homes in the world. Construction of ANTILIA started in 2006, but the land, where it was purchased in 2005. However, controversies from government officials held back the authorization of new ownership. Muffin Antilia Commercial Private Limited had made a payment for the land, which was previously home to an orphanage, but governmental restrictions on the construction held back progress. In 2006, however, Mukesh Ambani, the richest man in India and owner of the Muffin Antilia commercial entity, started construction on the property with a consultation from Perkins and Will Hirsch and Bednar Associates, a Chicago-based architectural firm. The construction began with an Australian-based company, Leighton Holdings, but it was later completed in 2010 by B.E. Bill Moria and Company Limited. Are you wondering why it took so long to finish a home that would house a 5-person family? Keep watching to find out. Ownership. ANTILIA is a 27-story home owned by Mukesh Ambani. If you didn't know who that is, well, here's an idea of his net worth. Mukesh Ambani can conveniently buy 168 cars. Oh wait, he already did that. And there is not a lot of questions about what else he can afford, considering the fact that Mukesh Ambani is the richest man in India and has a solid spot in the list of top 10 wealthiest people in the world. With an estimated net worth of over $75 billion, it doesn't seem so outrageous that Mukesh was able to spare $2 billion on his extravagant family home in South Mumbai, aka Sobo. Mukesh Ambani is the founder, managing director, and chairman of Reliance Industries Limited, a Fortune Global 500 company and a diversified empire which is involved in oil, gas, as well as telecom and retail. Mukesh is the owner of the ANTILIA house where he resides with his wife, mother, and 3 children. Mukesh is one of the most philanthropic individuals in the country, with his involvement in several charities and non-profit functions. But with wealth like that, Mukesh can indulge in more luxuries than the average person. Actually, when you think about it, he can do more than the average millionaire. And that's just mind-blowing. When you consider Mukesh Ambani's business profile, it's pretty easy to understand that the $2 billion home is simply a reflection of the owner's wealth. And what exactly does this reflection include? Well, you won't believe what the coldest spot in the luxurious house looks like from the inside. Be sure to stick around for a glimpse inside the ANTILIA home. Features. When the richest man in India lives in the second most expensive residential property in the world, it's bound to have some record-breaking features, so let's get right into it. Expensive street. Just before we go into the house, let's take a look at its surroundings. The address of ANTILIA is on Kumbala Hall near Alamount Road in South Mumbai, which is pretty much the equivalent of Beverly Hills in California. And that should give you an idea of the property value of the homes lining the street. ANTILIA is a 400,000 square foot building on a street where 1 square foot of real estate costs about $2,000. So the ANTILIA is not only expensive in its features, but also by its association. Structure and design. ANTILIA has 27 stories with super high ceilings on each floor, making every level as tall as a 2-story building, which means ANTILIA is equivalent to a 60-story building. ANTILIA stands at 568 feet tall, which is taller than the Statue of Liberty. With architecture consultation from Perkins and Will, ANTILIA can survive earthquakes up to level 8 on the Richter scale. It is a strong and impressive building. Traveling through the floors of the Antilia is like taking a guest tour of a resort or island, except it's all in one building. Oh, and to travel through the floors, the Antilia has 9 elevators located in the lobby. Floor breakdown. Hirsch Bender Associates carried out the hospitality design of the Antilia building, and they definitely delivered. Each of the 27 stories of Antilia has modern designs, and they all have their unique styles. The property uses the motifs of the lotus and the sun, designed with rare, expensive materials like marbles, crystals, and mother of pearl. None of the floors look the same in design or material used for decor. Talk about being exquisite. The rooftop of this property boasts of 3 helicopter helipads, which is mostly inactive due to the noise regulations. Below the helipad, the Ambani family has their in-house space for air traffic control management. And when you're worth almost $100 billion, it is the exact type of comfort you can afford. Just below the air control office, the topmost 6 floors of the house are the private residential areas for Mukesh Ambani and his family. So far off the ground, but they reportedly preferred that spot because it's closer to the sunlight. But keep watching to find out what happens when they choose not to enjoy the sun. The floors below the residential portion of Antilia are for general maintenance and apartments and suites for guests. Somewhere in the middle of the building are the floors belonging to an exquisite garden that is every horticulturist's dream. The recreational floors in Antilia consist of multiple extravagant swimming pools, a fully equipped gym, a health spa, a jacuzzi, a yoga studio, dance studios, a cinema-style 50-seat movie theater, a salon, and an ice cream room. Mumbai gets very hot in the summer, but Mukesh Ambani and his family never have to worry about heat or too much sunlight because the Antilia is energy efficient. Cue the garden, and it has a snow room. Yes, an actual snow room in the heart of the city. In Antilia, every day can be winter with artificial snowflakes that are just as cold as the real deal. But that's not all. The Antilia building also features a ballroom complete with crystal chandeliers and a mega temple for the family's religious gatherings. Remember the cars we mentioned earlier? Hold on to your jaw because it's about to fly down half the height of the Empire State Building. Car collection. Mukesh Ambani is an avid car collector, and he owns some of the rarest and most expensive vehicles of all time. Now, where would you park a car collection of 168 cars? Well, if you're Mukesh Ambani, you park them in your $2 billion home. That's right, Mukesh's impressive garage, which consists of luxurious cars like Mercedes Maybach 660 Guard, Mercedes Maybach 62, BMW 760 Lee, Bentley Continental Flying Spur, Bentley Bentayga, Rolls-Royce Phantom, and an Aston Martin Rapide. Mukesh also owns a Rolls-Royce Phantom drophead coupe, among over 100 other cars. 6 floors in the Antilia serve as the multi-tier garage for his cars, with enough space to accommodate 200 vehicles, which we are sure Mukesh can afford at ease. So, who takes care of these prized possessions? Get ready to be amazed. Staff. Beginning with the impressive showcase-style garage, Antilia is also home to a dedicated car service station, which is on the 17th floor. Let us be honest here, would you want to go to the auto shop when you can bring the auto shop to you? It is the power of wealth. But that's not the only comfort the Ambani family enjoys. Antilia is a large house, and even the homemaker of the year would get a headache from trying to clean 27 massive floors. A staff of about 600 individuals, on the other hand, is more than capable, and they're employed in-house, which, when you look at it, makes Antilia a job creation platform. Okay, just kidding, but think about it. 600 people are employed to keep the house pristine, ensure operations, and manage the property, basically. For a business mogul, an internationally recognized magnate like Mukesh Ambani, a 600-person staff doesn't seem so ridiculous. Although that's practically the entire staff body of a manufacturing. But when you have $75 billion to your name, you can afford to pay 600 people for maintenance and house most of them too. Bodyguards, assistants, and security personnel also have designated spaces that serve as an entourage room in Antilia. Wouldn't want to keep the richest man in India waiting on his security, would you? I mean, he has helicopters, so he doesn't even have to wait for traffic. Final thoughts. Do you have a family house? How big is it? Well, the Ambani family home is here to put all other properties out of the spotlight. But if it's any comfort though, the $2 billion home is worth more than a lot of A-list celebrities, so do with that what you will. Basically, there's being wealthy, and then there's having a $2 billion family home. The Ambani family is the topmost wealthiest Asian family in the world. And you know what they say about Asian wealth? It's crazy rich. Mukesh Ambani is all shades of goals when it comes to being a billionaire. But what else would you expect from someone who could afford to have Beyonce perform not one, but 3 songs at the pre-wedding celebrations for his daughter? Mukesh Ambani knows what comfort of life is all about, and he's not afraid to go above and beyond to provide for himself and his family. Particularly with the ANTILIA building, which is a prime real estate property and will only continue to appreciate in value on the property market. What is the largest building you've ever seen or been inside? Keep in mind that we used building, not home, because of the sheer size and length and width of the ANTILIA. It can be broken down to over 20 homes. Blessed be the mysterious ways of the rich. Standing tall is just the best way to describe the $2 billion home with 27 stories, 400,000 square feet, and over 500 feet. Everything about the ANTILIA is remarkable and honestly, mind-boggling. That's all for today. Thank you for sticking around and watching this video. And if you want to set out to build the world's most expensive home, now you know exactly who to beat. Mukesh Ambani and his $2 billion home, the ANTILIA.